Welcome to Positive Talk with Kevin McDonald. Hey, that's me. Hi, and welcome to Positive Talk. Our show features the best positive stories and people from around the globe as we endeavor to answer the universal question of why am I here and what is my purpose? Understanding that can change everything, and knowing your greatness is fundamental to living your best life. So join us right now as together we work to create the adventure of our lifetime. And welcome to Positive Talk with Rochelle. And okay, I'm here too. And, and we've got a great show for you today because Rochelle and Toni are going to teach you how to dance. And they're going. This will be great fun. Rochelle, welcome. How are you today, my dear?
I'm very well. Thank you for having me. We are so excited to introduce Toni Bergins. She is the owner of JourneyDance, which we're going to get into and talk about how she got to where she's at and her journey along the way. So thank you, Toni, for being here. How are you doing?
I'm so excited to be on this. This is like, I couldn't have picked, this isn't a better title of any TV show or radio show I could possibly be on. I love it so much. I am a positive talk person. At least I do my best to stay positive as much as humanly possible. And I love the opening. Why are you here? What is your purpose? I love it.
You're good.
I'm so glad you're here. And by the way, this is so much more than just dance. This is a state of being and a state of living so that you can live your best life and discover who you really are, and that the stories that have been told to you for the last however long you've been on the planet are, dare I say it, they're wrong. When people tell you things that aren't appropriate or not good, they're just wrong. And Toni, her life work is to help you understand that so that you can live your best life and become who you were destined to be before you even got here. That's my take on you. Is that true? What's your take on you?
I love that so much because it's funny you should say that, because I do think that I love your whole show and your whole vibe and everything that you're creating, Kevin. I love it so much. Everything you just said just resonates with me so much. I feel like I really didn't have much choice. I came here and I was dropped into a body, whatever you want to say. And my purpose was to be exactly who I am. Wild, out of the box, off the path, rebellious, joyful, fun. And I found that after many years of all those messages, just down, squishing and negative, and just going into shadow and working through all this material of being human and forgetting like my purpose. And then one day it was like someone hit me over the head with a giant brick and said, you're here to dance and move with people and take them on journeys and help them remember who they are and be in their bodies. And remember, the body is a beautiful, beautiful experience. To be in a body, to be alive is such a beautiful experience. And it only happens here. This is where it's at. This is the time you have. And I think you're right. I think, my mom used to say, like, I came into this world like a little love bubble. Like I was the love child, they told me. And I'm the last one.
Well, and I have to tell you that you make such an impact on people that we, as many of you know, we do a 15-minute pre-meeting before we do this, and to get a sense of each other and all that kind of stuff. And Rochelle was with us on that meeting, and she ended up dancing after she got. And to what else have you done because of your association with Toni, Rochelle?
Yeah, Toni is so inspiring for anybody who is getting the opportunity. Please listen to this entire show. It is absolutely magical to be with somebody who is just in the same framework and understanding of what we do here. So for me, she inspired me, and all I kept thinking about kind of was like, why don't I dance anymore? I've been dancing since I was 2, 3 years old. Like, why am I not using this as a part of my purpose and my journey? So I have started a dance class that will hopefully start tonight. at a crystal shop that is absolutely beautiful and beyond, that is down the street from my house. If anybody in Utah, Salt Lake City, please come and join me. It is for anybody of any style, any age, whoever you are, just a safe place to come and move your body. It's called Breath of Life Dance. And I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be so fun. And I can't wait to have the impact that you've had, Toni, because it's so powerful.
I'm so excited for you. I just
Thank
spent
What's
the
the
you.
name,
last
what's the name of the shop
on and
so
off
people can look it
from
up?
it. What?
It is called Synchronicities.
Great. So go to Synchronicities at what time?
It is going to start at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time
This is
in San
amazing.
Diego. Yes,
And
I'm so excited.
and Toni, you're responsible. Thank you.
Yes,
Yay, I'm
thank
so glad I
you.
could be inspiring. I want people to get back into their bodies, and that's my whole purpose. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think that we spend so much of our time, living in the past, as you said, living in our stories, living in these old, programs of this is who you are, this is I am. I was told this, I was told that, all these messages, I'm taking it all in. And as a woman or as a person of whatever identity, we get all this stuff layered onto us. And at the essential core, we are all the same. We have this ability to communicate with our body, to dance, to see someone, to feel connected, to be alive. It's really about vibrancy and finding your energy. Yoga and all the practices that people have been, studying for years and years, they're all about energy at the end of the day. It's about the energy of you. It's not about how beautifully you move or any of that stuff. It's about how you feel and what needs to be expressed through you,
Oh, absolutely. Except some of us don't like move all that well. And
Kevin, I'll get you moving. You just wait.
that's frightening. That is so frightening. But
You're adorable. I'm just saying. And your energy is beautiful. You don't have to dance to have good energy. But if you just like snap your fingers for a second, Kevin, come on, let's do this. Just give a couple of snaps. You can do it. 3 snaps.
Come on, Kevin.
Pop your head side to side. A little bit. Next thing you know, look, there we go. There we go. And we're together. Me and you. And I love this. Today I was teaching and I did a dance where I was like, just lose yourself in the other person. Just like fall in with them. Like, Brielle, come dance with me for a second. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. And
move the energy.
And
Get
I'm
out
like,
of your head
I'm
into
you
your
and
body.
you're me, and there is no separation. That's what I love about dance.
And
Yes,
for those of you that are listening on audio, they were dancing there in their seats, and we're really letting it go, and which is honestly, we're spiritual people and energy that are in physical bodies. But the reason that we have this physical body, which in many cases is very heavy, and you can't have everything that you can on the other side, but there's a reason why you're here. And you get to do things here that you can't do anywhere else because you actually have a physical body.
There it is.
Mhm.
This is the plane
Amen.
of creation. This is the plane of sensuality, touch, experience. This is the sensual plane. This is where we do the thing. I love being in a body. I used to hate it. My whole point of everything I've done is I used to hate it. I used to want to meditate, get out of the body, do astral projection. How do I get out of here? I hate the world. I was depressed and angry and sad and miserable and all those things and the stories and the blah, blah, blah. And I was like, wait a second. Oh my goodness. If I can't be happy in this body, my life is just going to pass me by in that way. And I'll be at that vibration, right? So the one thing that takes me out of that, I mean, there's many things now, but at the time when I was in my healing crisis, dance and music and just letting go and being those people in those videos that you watch on YouTube. Everyone's watching it. Everyone's watching those YouTube videos and on Instagram and TikTok, and they're all dancing and they're like, I want to do that. Well, you can. No one is stopping you. Just push play on your music and just start moving the body. And then if you want to take it really seriously and like say, okay, what is the body? It's a map of you and your life, right? It's like a map of you and your life. So if you want to clear stuff, today I was teaching and I talked about how do we How do you say, okay, what mental thoughts can I release today that are no longer serving me? What messages have I been, what addictive emotional thoughts that bring me down do I say to myself every day? We're taking those and we're just going to go and we're going to release them energetically. And then we're going to dance and shake and move the body. Then we're going to go deeper, deeper. We go into what vision am I not living that someone told me I'm supposed to be a this? Well, that's not true. I want to be a that, right? How do I release that? How do I come into my voice and say, what do I want to say? What do I want to sing? How do I want to be heard in this world? Why do I have to be shut down? Someone told me when I was little, be quiet, don't sing, shut up, you talk too much, all that stuff, right? How do we release that? So I do it I call this alchemy, where you take your energy of your heart. How do I release the grief and the blocks and the past? Because this is the moment right now. I could talk about the past for 5 hours, but I wouldn't do it on Positive Talk Radio, right? But talk
Thank
about
you.
the present moment. You're welcome. Present moment is awesome. If I could just be here in it, right? Be here in it. Don't be in the past. Don't be in the future. Here in the moment. Like I'm with you right now. I'm so with you. I'm so excited to be with you. It's like, this is where I am. I'm not.
Well, and you can feel that.
Yeah. But that's presence.
Like with
and
people.
That's from dancing. I'm telling you, it's from knowing yourself, not just dancing. My process is called JourneyDance, and it's a journey to know yourself. I take people on a hero's journey. It's like we start in one place and we go to another place. And today I was talking about the power center, like who's taken your power. If you ever felt your power was taken, you can disconnect. You can say, I'm done with that connection. I'm going to give you your power back. And in many shamanic traditions, which I study, and I have people that I work with, they've taught me, how do I release old plugins to people who are no longer are part of my life or want to be part of my life, right? Things that I just have to let go of because they're not healthy for me. There's so many things we can do to heal and to change and to shift our vibration out of that, those places of shame and guilt and not good enoughness and all the self-abusive hatred, blah, blah, blah. It's such a mess, right? And if we let go of that and we just come back to our essential essence, then I do second chakra, which is sensuality, sexuality, creativity, freedom, love. How do we embrace that and not, of course, there's many reasons to stay stuck in these areas, but how do we move through it? We dance through it. We take our time. We say, oh wow, I love you. I love you, body. Thank you. I know you've been through so much. I love you. And we start coming back into ourselves and we come into the earth and we say, I'm here for a reason. I'm going to be here. And that's really why I think people feel vibrancy, is when they feel like, you said it in your opening, you know why, when you know why you're here, like you feel vibrantly alive. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And by the way, if you go to our website, which is JourneyDance.com, you can follow her and find out all you need to know about Toni. But I'm here to tell you, if you're just listening to this, I had a vision just now, and that vision was I took a flashlight, took the batteries out, put it against her forehead, and she lit the light. Because you have got so much energy oozing out of you. Or flying out of you, depending upon
one or the other, right?
Yeah.
I think that's why I feel like that's, everyone has their thing, right? Some people are very soothing and you want to be with those people sometimes. Some people are very energizing, you want to be with those people sometimes. So it's good. We're all meant to be. We all have our perfect vibrational, match. And I'm this one. This is the one I am. And I'm embracing it fully. Because if I don't, then I just shut myself down and I'm no fun, right? Yeah. When you're just no fun, it's like, you're not in your right vibration when you're no fun. When you're fun, you're like, oh, I'm back. This is me.
That's right. When you can make people smile and make people laugh and make them feel good and make them or serve them well, all of those things that make you. But I got to ask you, holy mackerel! When you were a kid, were you this way? I mean, you're crazy. I mean, I
got in so much trouble. Oh yeah.
Me too.
I wrote about it in my book. The teacher used to say, is that the Jabberwocky sitting in the back there? And everyone would look around and all turn to me, and I'd be like, ugh, second grade. I was like, I hate school. I was one of those. I just hated school. Then I was like, okay, I'm going to game the system. I became the perfect hand raising, I tried to be perfect. And then I was like, oh, that sucked too. Then everyone teased me for being the teacher's pet. Right? I went from like totally getting in trouble all the time, then being the teacher's pet. I was like, you know what? Screw this. I'm just going to be a rebel. And then I just you know, made it through like everybody else.
Well, but you did it your own way.
For sure.
And and that is so important. Is this so you've always been like this? Is this I know that this is why you came here
Yeah.
was to give energy to other people and to present it in the way that you do. But was that clear to you from an early age, or did you discover that when it just kind of showed up one day?
Oh yeah. I mean, I was like this for to a certain degree. And then at a certain point, I shut it all down. Like, you know, certain teenage years, things happen, trauma happens, things happen. And I shut it all down. And I said, oh, I'm hiding now. I'm hiding. This is not good. I cannot be my full self as the childhood self that I was. And I would say to everybody who's a late bloomer, do not feel bad. You know, I remember like there were these kids in high school. I thought, oh, they're so famous, popular. They're going to be, their lives are going to be amazing. And I was just like a little, like, I just hit out and just made it through as best I could. And I was a late bloomer. All of a sudden I was like, wow, wait a minute. I totally giving up now. Like, so the time I was 23 or 4, I started to feel like, oh, I'm going to have fun. I'm going to live this life. I'm going to eat it. I'm going to like really consume it. But I went through a lot of pain to get here. I'm not going to lie. I don't want to go into the negative talk radio, but my story has a lot of, you know, there were things, you know, that we get shut down by. Our self-esteem becomes knocked around. Our self-love gets knocked around, depending on what kind of family of origin, you know, all the different things that happen, you know, what's going on in the world. There's just so many things. And when I did find myself, and I have to thank the amazing Kripalu Center of Western Mass, where I've been teaching for like more than 25 years. It's called Kripalu Center of Yoga and Health, and it's been through many different changes over the many years. And it's a beautiful, beautiful healing center for people to experiment and like go on a healing journey for themselves, go on an inner quest, like say, okay, what is relaxation? What is journey dance? What is yoga? What is breath work? And they start to look at all these things and say, oh, there's plenty of space for me to actually find myself. And what happened to me was I was in a dance class with no mirrors, and it was really wild and kooky and fun. And I just burst into tears. You know, had this like total like catharsis moment I was not expecting. And at that moment I said, oh, I have to change my life. I was living in New York City and I was working corporate America. And I was like, I don't want to do this. Like, I'm not this person. I don't want to wear, I mean, it's fine if you wear heels and a skirt. It's great. I just didn't want that. I realized I was a dancer at that point, and I was not a dancer all the way growing up. I did a couple of dance classes, but I wasn't a dancer. I wasn't one of those people. I would love to be. So then I was like, oh my God, I want to be a dancer. So then I started studying every form of dance I could for the next, 10 years. All I did was study dance and work and all that. And I changed my career and did different things, went back to school. I had a big life to get to the point where I feel like I am me now.
Yeah.
And by the way, we're talking with Toni, and her last name, Rochelle?
Bergins.
Very, very good. We need to take a quick break. And by the way, I agree with you. I got tired of wearing skirts and high heels when I was there. We'll be right back. Are you looking for a powerful way to grow your brand while making a real difference? Well, Positive Talk is the perfect platform to align your message with inspiration, hope, and meaningful conversations. By sponsoring Positive Talk, your brand will reach an engaged audience that values positivity and connection. People who want to support companies that share their values. Take this opportunity to showcase your business in a space that uplifts, inspires, and creates lasting impact. Don't wait. Email me, Kevin at kmmedia.pro today to learn how you can partner with us and spread positivity while growing your brand. And welcome back to Positive Talk. I got to tell you, this is one of those shows is going to go too dang fast. It's going to be here and it's going to be gone because we have a great guest. Her name is Toni Bergins, and go to her website, which is JourneyDance.com. She's affected Rochelle in a very positive way. And I'm really looking forward to what's going to happen tonight at your dance class. And I hope that lots of people turn up, and you just, more importantly, you just get out there and go, girl, and have a great time.
The keywords, go girl.
So adorable, Kevin. You're so funny. I love your whole vibe. We need more people who are doing this kind of thing in the world. We just need it right now more than ever. Positive.
We
Just
do.
how do we navigate this system, right? Our body is this incredible system. And if we can remember, I've been writing about how joy could be your baseline emotion. I call it the baseline emotion, right? What if joy, what if this, this fun part of you is your baseline emotion? And then all the other emotions, you're able to handle them. You're like, oh yeah, I have joy. I wrote a book, and in the book, it's joy. It's resilience minus joy equals suffering. Resilience plus joy equals empowerment. And that's what I want people to feel. They're so at home in their body that if they feel sad, they can feel their sadness. If they feel anger, they can feel their anger. If they feel whatever they need to feel, they can feel it. And then they can come back to joy because it's right there at their fingertips. Literally, it's at your fingertips at any moment. If you could just bring that much into the memory body. The body is a tool of memory, right? Your body is full of memory. So the way you change it is you overlay it with positive experiences over and over and over until you're just like, oh my God, I'm so full of love.
And Toni, you said something at the very beginning of that I want to put it on a t-shirt. What was it again that you said?
Joy is your baseline emotion. I don't know.
Rochelle,
Your body is a memory. I don't know.
Well, something will come up.
We'll go back to later on video.
Get your pen handy because you are just phenomenal, and it's you make, I do a lot of these, like 8 or 10 a week. This energizes me. So now I'm going to be energized for the entire rest of the day because I feel your energy. Don't you, Rochelle?
Yeah, 100%. This whole time, that's kind of what I've been thinking about is when you change and shift your energy, you change and shift how others feel around you and the impact and what also comes to you from the universe, from God, whatever you call it, and I recognize a lot of people tell me lately that I do this thing with my hands. Like when I get really excited at somebody, I'm like,
I love it.
I do. And it's
We call it
because how you
twinkling
just
in
said,
JourneyDance. We call it
yes, your
twinkle,
fingertips.
twinkle at your
I'm
friend.
sending, yeah, I'm sending you my energy through my fingertips. And it really does. I'm pretty sure you've seen this, Toni, with people that you work with, just the difference in how they carry themselves and how they interact with people and who they're interacting with probably changes as they change themselves through just allowing that movement. Don't you see that quite often?
Absolutely. I think that people become first of all, when you fall in love with yourself, when you really do, and you start to wake up in the morning like, hey, mwah, mwah, I love you. And you start to say, I love you, body, you just change. You start to vibrate at a different rate, different level, right? You're no longer, in that sort of, there's a lot of people that you hang out with and they feel a little toxic, right? You're like, oh, this person is so depressed all the time. And it's really hard. You want to support them and love them, but you don't want to necessarily go down the rabbit hole. And how do you do that? How do we learn to do that? So in JourneyDance, we call it holding sacred space. So we say, I can hold a space for you to feel without me going into it so deeply that I've lost my center, right? So when you really learn your body, like I know now if I'm upset, something happens, I feel it in my solar plexus, or I have a thought coming through that I'm like, ooh, but I'm that conscious because of the dance work, because I've become so conscious of my body in the dance work, just like you could do that in yoga, meditation. I've done it through the dance, through movement with the music. I let my mind go. I get really focused. And then I'm like, oh, now I know all my body's signals. So if I'm having a signal, I can respond to it right away instead of letting it take me down into like a whole domino effect of the old thought, right? Like today I was talking to my students and I was like, let's release all this old thoughts. Now the work begins. You go off the dance floor and when you hear the thought, you have to say no. You have to say, nope,
Mm.
that thought, we've said no to that. That's an old tape, has nothing to do with my reality. That's just like, as you said, and right earlier, that these messages that we're given, that's not a real message. So that's when we say, now, how do I want to replace that? I want to bring in I am. And I don't mean just affirmations. Affirmations are great if you can make them work, but the way they work for me is dancing. Like if I feel powerful and I'm like, I'm so powerful, if I'm not moving, I'm so powerful. Doesn't work for me. Like I have to be like,
Yeah.
I'm so graceful, or I'm so sensual, whatever it is. I have to find it in my body and embody it, not just think it, because the thoughts need a home, right? This body
Mm.
is basically, I think the mind is out here and we decide what we're bringing in. We have that choice. People don't think they have a choice. And that's what I'm offering people. I'm saying, okay, what if you had a choice in what you thought? Most people don't think they have any choice. So they're just going around thinking the same thoughts, looping. What if you could interrupt the loop and say, I'm going to pluck that loop? Just like Dumbledore. Remember Dumbledore? And he had that wand, and he's like, I'm pulling out this horrible memory and I'm putting it in a jar and I'm capping it and I'm putting it in the closet. Oh God, if we could do that, that would be amazing, right? But we can do it.
I was going to say you can.
Yeah, and you said something so powerful, Toni. One thing that really changed the way I started to hear myself talking to myself in my conscious and subconscious, it is when you hear or feel something, it's responding, not reacting. Because that was something I realized. I would react on anything I felt or anything that was going through my head. And then I'm like, wait, okay, I can let these thoughts come in, but I can let them go out and I can choose how I'm going to respond to that. Am I going to believe it? Am I going to think about it for the next 6,200 hours? Because I do sometimes.
Right. I
And
get it. We all do.
it takes a while. Yeah, you're like it gets frustrating because then when you become so aware of what's going on in your head, it can be frustrating, right? Because then you're like, I need to change everything that's always going through my head. And sometimes just being able to just close the door, just let it be quiet, just allow things and hear them and understand it without closing yourself off.
Beautiful.
To try to just learn who you are, because I don't know about you, it gets very frustrating for me. I'm like, Rochelle, stop thinking that, stop feeling that thought, and it's very
Yeah.
challenging.
Let's talk about this for a second, because this is not the easiest task, right? So this is the hard stuff.
Right.
This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where, why do I dance? And I was explaining this today. I said, I don't just dance for the body at all. I dance for the mind, for the heart, and for the spirit, and for the emotions. Because the body is, it's great. You can treat it however you want to treat it. That's up to you. I treat my body. I'm very into, my body. I work out. I do all the things because I want to live a long time. I want to be able to dance till I'm 100. That's my plan. So, but when I slow down and I start moving in a conscious way, which I'm doing right now, for those of you who are not watching, I've just slowed down. I'm just looking at my hands. I'm pressing on the space. It's like a meditation. And I can say, okay, to my thoughts, okay, slow down, slow down, slow down. You can actually control your whole body in a sense through the dance, through the music that you choose. You can input things. You can input new things. I call it, implanting. We don't want to implant negative thoughts into people. We don't want to do that. We always want to implant positive thoughts. So I played a song today, like, you are not broken. You are not breaking. You are unfolding. And it was a heart dance, and people were dancing with each other and they were swaying back and forth. And I have another song I played, like, when you let go of fear, the truth will appear. And we're just rubbing our heart and looking at each other's eyes. And we're reprogramming our brain for connection. And just to end that thought, when you can get yourself into this altered state, which is what I talk about in the book, you go into an altered state, and that's good. That says, okay, now I have options. Now I know the state of meditation. So when I'm in my daily life, when I have those thoughts that you're talking about, I can say, okay, I have skills. We forget that we have skills. That's what we do. We just go into autopilot. We forget that we have so many skills. And one skill is, you know what? I'm beating myself up. I'm going to stop right now. I love myself. I'm not going to beat myself up. I'm going to do something positive. And whether it's go outside for a quick walk or put on a song and move or lay down in your bed, take a nap, it doesn't matter to me. Just get off of it. As Abraham Hicks would say, get off of that loop as quickly as you can.
And by the way, you said another one just then again, and I didn't want to interrupt you, but now that's 2 t-shirts. We've got to go back and listen to the tape, and we've got to come up with those things, because and I want to point this out, and I'm not going to go into specifics, because Rochelle has spent time, because of stuff, and if something negative happens, she'll review it, and she'll review it, and then she'll review it again, and then she'll review it again. And so one of the things that I'm now working to teach her, and this is great for everybody, the Gospel According to Paul McCartney, which, by the way, she even reached out to him. So I'm hopefully get him on the show at one point. So we're crashing all the barriers of what positive talk can be, because he's on my bucket list. In any event, so
okay. I'm going to send a positive message out there that we are going to be watching that show. Let me tell you, Paul McCartney waving at you. So what is your favorite line? I can't wait to hear.
It's the gospel according to Paul McCartney is "Let It Be."
I was gonna say, let it be. Yep.
He always says that anytime I call him, even if it's 3 o'clock in the middle of the morning and I'm stressed out, I can't calm down, there's things going through my head. He said, child, let it be. And it's gotten to the point to where I can hear him in my head saying it when I know I need to just relax and let it be. And now I'm starting to tell myself that. I'll say it out loud. I will stop myself and close my eyes no matter where I'm at or what I'm doing. I'm like, Rochelle, you need to let it be. It's going to be fine.
Oh, I gotta
And
add something to that. Okay.
and you know what happened? Everything was exactly what I told her it would be and how it
Yeah.
would end up. Just let it be. And so
So funny.
the moral of the story is she
Yeah.
spent 3 weeks fussing and
3
brooding
months.
and worried and stuff. And she didn't need to do any of that. Had she just let it be and let the universe allow it to unfold the way it's supposed to, then the good things will happen. And
And
so
it was
that was
such
a
a
great
good
lesson
experience.
for her to learn.
I love this.
Yes.
I have to add something to this because this is like, I'm a little bit, I'm a little bit of a rebel. So I'm going to tell you what I do in that piece. No, but I really like this. Okay. So how you let it be. So one of the things that really helped, and I work with people one-on-one as well. I had for 10 years, I did this whole like one-on-one, I called it Embodied Transformations, kind of coaching / working with people individually. And what I learned was when people are frustrated, upset, or angry, if I said to them, calm down, blah, blah, that's not the way to go. So I'd say, okay, let's talk about it. What are you frustrated about? Let's shake the hands.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm so mad. I'm so angry. Make a face and let it out. Give it an outlet. Rochelle, give it an outlet, give it a physical outlet, give it a voice, and I do shaking. I'm like, shake, 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 punch, 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 move, 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 let it out, let it out. Because when you do this for 10 seconds, you literally will be like, oh, so, and then you can just let it be. It's literally, but I'm telling you, to tell someone who's looping and going through this like really intense thing, I'm telling you, using the body, such a help. If I'm up at 3 a.m. and I can't sleep and I'm just meditating and I'm having a breakdown, I have to get up and I have to shake it off, or I have to do some kind of very physical movement to be like, okay, I'm pissed, I'm angry, I'm upset. We don't want to stuff the emotions and put them back in, right?
Nope.
We don't want to quell them without really feeling them. Otherwise, they just store. So we want to play them out. So we say, you just do it. You're like, I'm so pissed. I'm not going to curse. Use your growling. Get it out. Squeeze. Do your thing. You can punch your pillow. Blah blah blah. It's a somatic discharge. You want to discharge that energy, and then you're like, oh, okay. Now I can actually.
That's not good. Yeah,
because you can't.
I can think about it.
Yeah, you can't.
And by the way,
in that state.
And by the way, we're talking with Toni Bergins, and she is a hot dancer chick who does great things. And we need to take our break. But I also wanted to make this point that we're going to make in the second half of the show is not only is it good for you energetically, but it's good for your health to get rid of the stress. And that allows your body to heal better. And we're going to talk about that, I'm hoping, when we come back. So we'll be right back in 1 minute and 10 seconds.
Absolutely.
You're listening to Brushwood Media Network, the best in syndicated talk, news, and entertainment shows.
As you go about your daily life, look closer. As you gather with family and friends who love and support you, look closer. There are youth right in your community who don't have the home, warmth, and healing you have. So look closer. Every year across America, a staggering 4.2 million youth are homeless or trafficked. And for 50 years, Covenant House has worked relentlessly to keep them safe and protected. Tonight, 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed. And tomorrow, they will wake up surrounded by love. They get clean clothes, hot meals, medical care, and a safe place to sleep. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. In sites across America to help them fulfill the great promise of their lives. So look closer at Covenant House. To help or get help, go to covenanthouse.org.
And welcome back to Positive Talk with Kevin McDonald. Rochelle's here. Toni Bergins is here. And by the way, I play that commercial because I'm gonna play that commercial every day until I don't have to. And what that means is we've figured out a way to take care of the 4 million kids that are hungry or homeless or have a problem, and we can do it. This is the greatest country in the world. We can do it, unless we don't. So I'm going to continue playing that ad nauseum. So there.
I love when you said that we
Very
can
good.
do it or we can not do it, right? So everybody has a choice at any moment how they're going to impact the world and how they're going to be and whether they're going to look for a positive solution or jump into a different boat and just be mad and be stressed and be upset, and instead of taking action and creating something like that, right? Like that's the dreams that everyone says, oh, how can I create a positive impact in the world? I mean, that's the dream to me.
And exactly. And you are, when you do the energy work that you do, now they've proven this scientifically now, that when you get your energy moving, it gets rid of stress, which can lead to heart attacks and strokes and all that other good stuff or bad stuff. And you can do all of that, and so it's more than just being silly and dancing around, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think it's far from being silly. But I know what you mean. I think a lot of people feel like when they hear the word dance, I mean, I wasn't going to call it journey dance, but it was a journey and it was dance. So it just came together and that's what I did. But it's really about movement and expression of emotions. It's about discharging emotions. It's about letting go of whatever needs to be processed. I call it meet it, embrace it. It's okay. I have a lot of anger. What am I going to do with all this anger? Guess what? You can move your body. You can release the anger literally from your body instead of carrying it. What am I going to do with all this grief? I'm going to cry some tears. Today, a woman, she said, she came up to me after class and during the class, she's like, this is my favorite thing I've ever done in my life. I was like, oh my God, yay. I do this visualization called the fire, the alchemy of fire, and we become the flame and we burn whatever we need to release. And we do it as a really fun, it's a beautiful exercise. People get so into it. They're just completely transported into a whole nother realm. I really feel that way. And afterwards, she just came to me and she cried and she bought my book. She asked me to sign it and it was so sweet. And I wasn't even selling books. We went to the bookstore together and it was so sweet. But she said that she has been teaching for so many years. She teaches yoga. She teaches all kinds of different movement, but she never lets herself cry. And she was able to cry and have this release. And people think, why would I want to cry? So many people can't cry. They hold on so tight to all the emotions. And when they finally let the cry out, there's so much energy available right afterwards. You know, when you have a good cry and you're just so happy you let it out, because the talking isn't going to let the cry out. Y'all, it's just not going to do it. It's got to come out.
Go ahead.
People who've been through trauma and other things and feel lost and purposeless, there's just so much pain in the world, and how do we process it? And I'm not saying that this is the only way, but this is a way, and you can do it without coming to the dance floor. You can do it yourself. I wrote a book for people to do that for themselves, so they could actually say, how do I do this for myself? How do I reclaim my body, my emotions, my feelings, because we want to feel. Feeling is key, and we shut it down because it's too scary, because there's so much things, so many, like the ad, that there's so much pain. How do we help the pain? We become a vibrational match to a new idea, and then all of a sudden we're part of the solution, right? That's what happens. People get inspired and something comes through and they're like, I'm going to change the world, or I'm going to change some part of the world, some little part. I'm going to change. I'm going to be an inspiration. And that's everyone I know becomes an inspiration. Like, I feel like everyone I know, that's what their goal in life is. And I love that I know so many people who want to be inspirations.
Well, and we were all born great, and we were all born here for a dynamic purpose. And the one thing that I wanted to mention, and this is for the parents in the room that have a male child, a boy, please don't say big boys don't cry.
Oh, please.
Because that's counterproductive to life.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah. And something, I've learned that's so powerful. Toni, you spoke on it so good. The words you used, it's, for one thing, I would love everybody to hear right now, if there's one thing you're going to hear, it is okay to feel a little bit awkward or maybe lost when you first try doing this. When I got out of all my angry and realized that I wanted to be something different. And I started to, you know, spend a lot of time with myself when I hadn't in almost 10 years.
Mm,
It was this, it was awkward. I felt weird inside myself because I'm like, okay, like it was almost like that I was with me, but I couldn't see her. And
mm,
she was kind of like judging me. And that's normal. It's okay. You'll get through that. I
mm.
didn't, I had somebody come to me and tell me, that's okay to feel that way. You don't know anything else for so long.
Right.
And then it kind of made me sad. I was sad for my old self who I had let now feel awkward about dancing and singing and talking to myself in my room, looking at myself in the mirror even. I was like, it's
Mm.
just me. What do I do? Do you ever find that, Tony, where you have people come into your class and
Yeah.
probably lots of emotion goes through them because it's when you start to actually look at yourself and embrace that person, it can be kind of weird.
I love that you said that. I mean, for me, it's the self-compassion piece, right, that we develop.
Mm,
And when you have an identity that's so solidly like in anger because of something that happened in your life or something, to let go of that and to transmute yourself and to transform yourself into something different can be really challenging, especially when everyone in your life wants to relate to you in that way, right? Like they've got you, like you're their person they call when they're in this mood because they know you'll go with them on the journey, and all of a sudden you're not going anymore, and they're like, uh-oh.
Yep.
What
Yep.
happened to my friend? What's wrong? Why are you happy? Or why are you not, bonding with me around that? So this is really hard stuff. And it's also, transformation is not easy. I say to everybody who walks into my class or comes into any online thing that you are courageous, because to decide that you want to get to know yourself is courage. It's a courageous act. It's being so brave, because looking at ourselves is not always easy. It's not. Sometimes we make mistakes, and I don't like to say that like there are like mistakes, but lessons need to be learned. Evaluations need to be made. Sometimes we do something we don't like about ourselves, and it's okay to look at it and say, hey, you know what? I really was at my best at that moment. I didn't do the best I could have done. I was, in this relationship, or I was in that influence, or this was happening, or that was happening. I was trying to save the family. Whatever you did, you have to come to self-forgiveness at some point, because forgiveness means to let go, right? Let it be. Forgive means to actually let go, right? That's what the word means, right? How do you at some point forgive yourself and say, okay, I'm going to have self-compassion for me. And then you look in the mirror and you say, hello, my darling, I love you. And
Yep.
but you know what happens then? Then everyone sees you as that person. And then you start to say like, Kevin, hi, I can
Hmm.
see you. Because if you can't see yourself, really, you really can't see another person. I
Yep.
keep calling your name wrong. Brichelle, like Michelle, but with a bruh.
Okay. Yeah.
Brichelle, you're so adorable. Like I can see you because I can see myself, right? If I couldn't see myself, I would see you as like an image. I couldn't really see you. And I think
Yeah.
that's what we want. We want to see each other, and we haven't been seeing each other. We've been all blocked up with all of our masks and layers of judgment. Oh my God, how judgmental are we as human beings, right? It's normal. But if we could
Hmm.
look and say, wow, I'm judging that person, we call that project. In JourneyDance, we say that's projection. Whatever you see is a reflection of yourself. So if
Mm.
you're judging the hell out of somebody, you have that thing too. You wouldn't see it, right? Some people don't see anything in someone. They go, that person's so negative. You're like, they are? I didn't notice that. That's because your negativity is going rah, 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 with their negativity. And you're like, I don't like that about myself. But instead you judge them, right? So it's this interesting way of saying,
Mm.
okay, how do I get to know myself so well? Yes, I can be judgmental. Yes, I can be negative. Yes, I can say the wrong thing sometimes. And sometimes I say the right thing and I'm positive, and I'm going to go that direction. I'm going to try to say, how can I hold a space where people feel safe with me? That's what I want.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's beautiful.
Very good.
Because
It's a stretch.
well, but don't you find that when you get to that place and then you start looking at people's energy and how they present themselves, and it's not about the makeup that you wore today or the
Yep.
eyelashes that you may have or not, it doesn't matter then. It's all about the energy that they present to you. If it's positive energy, then they're good to be around. If it's negative energy, you tend to want to go, I think I'll go find somebody who's positive. At least
Hmm.
I do.
Yeah, I think a lot of us get into very addicted relationships with people who we don't necessarily or aren't the healthiest for us. And it can be really challenging to let go of somebody who you love, even though they're not in a positive space. And it's part of that's part of family. Like, right. So if your family of origin was not positive and you're positive, every time you walk in the house, you're going to be like, well, do I go negative or do I stay positive? Right.
What happened to me is I ended up in my room. That was just
Yep.
Right?
You're too positive. Go to your room.
Yeah, I'll go down to my room.
Good journey, right? Listening to your favorite music, going into your room, getting out of the fray. But I feel lucky because I think, my parents, like I grew up in a certain situation where I think they were quite positive, warm, loving people. Of course, we had our problems and there was all kinds of other things that you can read my story if you want to, but there's just all kinds of dynamics in every family. And getting to know yourself is saying, oh, okay, so this pattern that I'm displaying right now comes from this interaction that I had on a daily basis with this person. So this parent, right? How do I reclaim my ownership of myself? Isn't it amazing that we can change, though? Isn't it amazing? Like, it's amazing. People look at me in high school. I remember, you're going to laugh really quick. I was at my high school reunion, one of my high school reunions. I remember which one. And some man came up to me and he said, wow, you've changed. And I'm like, well, you just never knew who I was.
Supposed to.
Yeah, you're supposed
it's
to.
That story of the caterpillar and the butterfly.
I went to my 20-year reunion, and they give you little tags of your picture that was in the annual. And I actually had somebody walk up to me and look at my picture and say, "Oh, I remember him. I'm standing right here."
You're so funny.
It was like, so it's one of those things.
Say, well, yeah, thank you so much. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like we actually do change, and we change physically, we change emotionally, we change our energy, and it's a beautiful thing. And that's why we keep, we move through life and we have new adventures at any moment. Like I want to live in a world where I don't even know what's going to happen next. I mean, in an exciting way, not in a scary way. Like, oh, what if being on Positive Talk Radio, I got to meet, Paul McCartney? Who knows what's going to happen? Right?
That's exactly right. You don't know.
Right. But you know what I mean? Like open to possibilities instead of shut down to this, right? This is how I live my life. Right. Yep.
And Toni, I just had a thought, and I want you to either confirm or deny it. And that is that when you live your life in a positive way with lots of energy and lots of positive energy, you actually change how you look to other people.
Yes. I will say yes.
Yes.
Isn't that cool? You have the ability to change, and it gives you total control. You don't have to listen to those stories that people told you anymore because they're not true, and you can be whoever you want to be.
Yep. Very true.
All right. Show's over. Mic drop.
Well, we got to take this commercial real quick, and then we'll be right back, and then we can do a mic drop.
Okay.
This is only 30 seconds, so everybody stay put.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
And welcome back to Positive Talk with Kevin McDonald. Rochelle's here. Toni Bergins is here. JourneyDance.com. I want you to go there and buy her book and talk to her because she's, by the way, where are you based out of? We got to figure out how to get to you.
Oh, I live in Western Mass. I teach at Kripalu. I teach online. I'm all over. I live sometimes in Utah. I live sometimes in Costa Rica. I love to travel, so I go on adventures and retreats, and I'm all over the place.
With your energy, you don't even need to fly in an airplane, do you? You just can go.
You are so funny. I don't know why you just, you're catching me at the right moment. I find you both so inspiring and just adorable. We've had so much fun together that I just can't stop but just be in this mood. So it's just as much you as it is me. I'm in the personality test of the human design, I'm a projector. So whatever I see, I project back. So I love the whole positive talk radio. You both are so fun. And I think that I do fly in airplanes. Yes, I do.
but you don't need to have an engine. You can just make it go.
Yeah.
They did call me the Energizer Bunny when I was a kid. I can't lie.
Yeah.
I did get in some trouble. I told you I was always running around and getting yelled at, but it's okay.
Yep.
Well, but look at the woman you are today, and the impact that you're having on so many lives. And you can join her club. You call it's your newsletter, right? And
Yeah,
you got 150,000 people buy and go get your newsletter, and you can go to her website and sign up for that. What other goodies do you have on your website that we can entice people with?
Well, right now I have the book, which is very exciting to me. I wrote a book called Embody, Feel, Heal, and Transform Your Life Through Movement. And it has a flip book, which I can show you for those of you watching. I'm so backwards because I'm showing up upside down, but I couldn't help myself. And I had to make it a flip book because I'm such a kid at heart. See the flip book? There it is. There's a flip book in it for fun, but it's really a deep journey, and it has prayers that I write myself, and journal entries, and how do we go in and look deeply into ourselves. And we go through this whole series of the JourneyDance process, starting with embodiment, which is how do I get into my body, moving into how do I move into my spine, how do I get the spine to move, then I move into my limbs, and then how do I move into my emotions, and then how do I move into my desire and creation, how do I get empowered? Oh, I like it, he's dancing now. And then
I'm trying to figure out how you do that with your hands. I can't.
I have pretty active hands. It's one of the things that I do. But I also play the piano, so that helps, and the guitar. So I love to use my hands. So basically, I was saying, then we go into prayer at what I call divine alignment, where you just slow everything down. And then at the end of the book, I take you into I call it mind busting technique, because I thought it'd be funny, like Ghostbusters. I probably will get, someone will come after me at some point for that, but I call it mind busting technique. And I love it. And it's about when a thought comes in, you have very little time to decide, am I going to accept that as a reality thought, or am I going to let that sit and just not take it in and not feel the emotion of it, and decide, okay, is this thought actually real, or am I just feeling, insecure, sad, lone? Usually thoughts that are negative are just a way of telling you you're having a feeling you need to feel. I actually talk about self-hatred, and I want to talk, I don't know why I'm telling you this, but I have to tell you for some reason. In the book, I talk about self-hatred as basically, I don't believe that anybody really knows what that is, but what it is, it's a state of feeling that we're unwilling to feel. It's not actually that we hate ourselves. We just are so uncomfortable in the moment with what's happening that we label it as self-hatred, but it's actually a discomfort with feeling. So if we can learn how to feel the emotions, which we do in the previous chapters, we can end that cycle and say, you know what, I don't actually hate myself. Because when you don't hate yourself, you won't hate others. Hate will just disappear. Oh, it's just a difficult emotion. I don't like feeling uncomfortable in my body. That's what it is. So if we can learn, I don't think you should feel uncomfortable in your body, but if you can learn how to move through the discomfort, you get out the other side. And usually it's just some of the basic emotions. It's anger, sadness, we don't want to feel, fear. It's all the emotions we don't want to feel because they're uncomfortable. But if we can feel them, we really can eliminate so much more pain. It's really amazing how feeling actually is better than not feeling. But it's so scary for some people that are numb and they don't want to.
So even to feel happy.
Oh my God. And happiness is what's on the other side of all that. Yeah. Thank you. I love that you said that. Thank you. Because happiness, my whole thing is, how do I bring more joy into my life at all times, right? How do I just bring more joy into my life at all times? That's my thing. My intention every morning is I create beauty in the world. However I do it, that's what I'm doing. Creating beauty in the world, bringing joy to someone, something, whether I cook something for somebody or give someone something or water my plants. It doesn't matter what it is. If I can create some kind of beauty, I feel like I've had a good day.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, as you're getting ready for bed, you can reflect on it and go, that was a good day. I
Yeah.
really made an impact on somebody's life, even if it's just the cashier at the grocery store.
Yep.
Yes. And said hi to her or him or them and said, hey, I see you. How's your day going? And all of a sudden they start talking to you. You're like, wow, this is amazing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel your pain because your day really sucks because that lady that was just ahead of me was not very nice to you.
Yep.
And-
Right. Oh, yeah. And then you're giving them so much help. So anyway, just to tell you, in the book, if you do get the book, there's a whole bunch. You go to like page 65, you grab the QR code, and there's like 30 videos in there and 17 playlists. And I just put all my work on there so people could just take it and run with it because I want to make an impact beyond having to come and dance with me. So you can do that with the book. You'd come dance with me any Tuesday. We have an ongoing dance. It's Tuesday. It's 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's various teachers that teach it with me and in my team. And we teach, I teach a lot. I'm teaching the next couple of months. Every Tuesday, we have a little practice. Sometimes it's big, sometimes it's small, but you can come camera off, camera on, whatever you need to do and do the dance. And then we have another program on Friday mornings, which is writing and dance. So it's movement into putting us into this beautiful state and then writing to process, because people need a place. They need a place to just learn themselves. We don't have that in school where we're not taught, who are you? What are you made of? What are your dreams? What are your wishes? What is your pain? What do you need to process? And that's what Journey Dance is for. It's a tool. It's just like any other tool. And I really hope that people will use it as a tool. And I want it to bring as much joy to your life as possible. That's really what I want.
And I'll be there next Tuesday, so come join us.
Oh, I'm so excited. Will you come?
Yes,
I'll
I'll
make
come.
a special playlist for you.
I'll
then.
be there.
Okay.
Where are you?
On Zoom.
On Zoom.
Mhm.
Exactly. You know, talking to you is just it makes me smile because you're one of those people who gets it. You get why we're here, and you get what it is that we can do for other people, which, by the way, if you don't know this, it's the highest calling that there is, to be kind and loving and caring for somebody else, not for yourself. But you got to love yourself to be able to do that. Is that true, Toni?
I really believe so. I mean, I don't think I've ever been, the more I love myself, the more available I become to relationships with everybody, you know? And sometimes you have to step into your power to do that. And it can be a journey, you know. Sometimes you have to say no to things that are toxic for you or not good for you anymore. And that's hard. Some people are not going to like that. And then when you decide you're going to be in your power, you're going to be positive influence, you're going to raise your vibration, you're going to do that. You're going to shift, you're going to shake things up. You know, things are going to move around you, and it's okay. And just remember, like, you are worthy and you deserve to be happy, and you can bring different things into your life. And sometimes you need to get some of the basic needs met so you can feel happy. You know, it's not all about just, you know, coming to the dance floor. It's about getting out there and saying, what do I want to do with these hands of mine? How do I want to fix something or be part of something? How do I want to work? How do I want to put my energy, take all this energy I have and focus it into something? That's what I want people to be able to do. And how you find that is sometimes through a random journey dance. You know, you're just like, wow, I feel alive. Like that woman who cried today. She said, I haven't cried in so long. I've just been holding space and I needed to cry, and I couldn't cry until I went through all of that movement, and then boom, she was able to cry. So you never know. You might need to laugh. And we laugh too. You know, we laugh. We do all the emotions. All the emotions are in this practice. So you want to practice, you want to release anger, you want to find your joy, you want to cry, you want to do all the things, just go for it. Be a human for 90 minutes, you know, an hour and 15 minutes, just being a messy human.
Amen.
And we is pretty messy sometimes.
And beautiful.
Toni Bergins, JourneyDance.com. Go there and see her. Michelle, you've got 30 seconds. Say anything you want.
Thank you just so much for the empowerment that you're bringing to people that know you, to our listeners. I am looking forward to seeing that huge group there next Tuesday from everybody who hears this. And Toni, just to end the show, just to top it off with that mic drop we mentioned, is there anything that you would like to say to our listeners before we go?
couple of things I want to say. I have a beautiful team of Journey Dance teachers all over internationally, and you can find them on our website, and they're doing beautiful work in the world teaching. And my wish for you is that you take a courageous, brave step and say, I'm just going to step onto the dance floor and try this thing. And you have nothing to lose, only to gain, really, truly only to gain. And whatever brings you joy, do that every day. Whatever brings you joy, do that every day. That's my wish for everyone. And we'll just raise the vibration of this planet, and it'll just, everything that seems not wonderful will shift, because we have the collective. We are all connected. I'm connected to you all right now. We are changing the vibration right now. So thank you so much for having me, because I feel like I'm part of a new synergy.
Of course. Thank you for being here.
And I have to tell you, Toni, this show is blowing up. It's remarkable to see. I can't even fathom it. But Paul McCartney's going to come on the show. You watch. Michelle's going to make that happen. So thank you so much for being here.
Oh, it has been my great pleasure. You're so welcome. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Positive Talk with Kevin McDonald. Our purpose is to provide everyone with a positive, entertaining, and educational experience. I would love your feedback and comments about the show, including possible topics and great guest suggestions. Please email me at kevin@kmmedia.pro. And remember, be kind to one another, because each other's all we've got. That's Kevin@kmmedia.pro.